that we need to know that we call it psycholinguistic because it's actually considering psychological and linguistic principles. So that's the way it's classifying the items, considering, psychology, because, for example, answering an item actually needs some psychological processes. So uh, it considers how much you need to use the different abilities that you have gained to be able to answer a question. Okay, so let's have a look at paragraph two, the ends of the paragraph. I think it's over here. Yes, regarding psychology. Okay, let's read on from here. Regarding psychology, it is clear that from the very first moment of encountering a single item, psychological processes such as perception, identification, recognition, comprehension, analysis, and production of written or oral materials are, in one way or another, utilized. I don't know if you've heard of Bloom's dichotomy. Have you? Have you heard of it? Bloom's levels of understanding. Have you heard of it before? Are you with me? Hello.
Yeah, Doctora, we with you.
Okay, so have you heard of it before? Have you heard of Bloom's levels of okay. So what are they? Do you know the levels?
Yes,
Yeah,
doctor.
Doctora.
Okay, what are they? Can one of you tell me?
I'm here. I'm I'm here. I'm sorry.
Yes, go
I'm
on.
sorry. Bloom levels. It's as a triangle from the
Uh-huh.
base to the top, divided into
Mm-hmm.
many parts.
Uh-huh.
Yes, and it's the easy one in the bottom and the difficult one on the top. Is this
Exactly.
what you
Yes.
mean?
Uh-huh.
Yes, doctor.
Yes.
Is this what you mean by
Yes, exactly.
yeah?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. And right here in the paragraph which we're reading right now, it's kind of related to, Bloom's levels of understanding, since see we have the perception, identification, recognition, see, comprehension, analysis, production. These are the different levels. Similar, kind of similar to Bloom. I'm not saying this is the same thing because it's not the same thing, but it's kind of similar to that. Includes the different levels and different processes in our mind when we're analyzing some sort of item in a test. Okay, and we have another one over here. Here, considering linguistic principles. So we're considering both psychology and language in this classification, the final classification that we have over here. We're considering both psychology and linguistics. So language can be manifested in three different ways, referred to as the modality or instrumentality. So modality, dealing with the ways through which language is manifested, includes oral, written, and pictorial modes. So three modes for modality. Language can be manifested verbally or non-verbally. Verbal ones include oral and written, and then the pictorial one is the non-verbal format. Okay, over here we have it on page 34. On top, we have the different kinds of modality that are important. Let me see. Someone is trying to enter the room. Give me a second. Yes. Okay. Okay. And the other criterion for determining item forms should involve the modality in which the item is presented. So the psycholinguistic classification includes both psychology and linguistics together, psycholinguistics, and it's two-dimensional, therefore. So one dimension is the psychological processes, and the other one is the linguistic processes. Um, to avoid complications, two major psychological processes which are crucial to language processing, which are recognition and production, can be considered the two extreme poles of language processing tasks. Okay, recognition and production. And other ones like comprehension or combination of comprehension and production are in between. Okay, so that's that. And let's see what else is important here to mention. Of course, Rafta has mentioned all these in her presentation, but I'm just mentioning, those very important parts which you should not actually miss. Yeah, over here. So the factors, linguistic, psychological, and also the structure of the item. These are presented in the table we have over here. So we have oral, written, pictorial, which are the linguistic ones. Then we have recognition, comprehension, comprehension or production, and production, which are the psychological aspects.
Which mean the
So,
result.
yeah,
Okay.
again, which mean? Mm-hmm.
Anonymous. I say okay.
Okay, very good. So that's that. Um, we have this further explanation over here as well, if you need more. This classification provides for 12 boxes, each of which would identify one aspect of the item. For example, a true-false item can be presented in the following form to meet the objectives for which it is designed. The psychological process, recognition, or comprehension. We decide whether we're making a true-false item for recognizing something or for comprehending something. Which one? Then we decide if the stem is oral, if it's written, or if it's pictorial. It can be either. And then we decide if the response that the examinee is providing is oral, or if it's written, or if it's pictorial. So we can do all these three for any item that you want to provide, whether it's true or false, whether it's multiple choice, or whether it's essay type. Okay, so these are the four different formats of um, test actually items, classifications. But of course, pay attention. Although I highlight some parts, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't read the entire chapter. Careful, you need to read it all. But the parts that I highlight are the more important ones, are the parts that you shouldn't actually miss. So be careful about that.
You need to focus on these things
Yeah, you need to focus more
that
on these.
highlights.
Exactly. Yes, you need to focus more on the highlights, but it doesn't mean that you
Okay,
shouldn't
okay,
read the entire chapter. Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
You mean you should read whole chapter?
Yeah, you should read the chapter, but be careful of the items that I highlighted for you because these are the,
Okay,
most important parts. Okay, so
okay.
let's see. Shall we go for chapter 4? Are there any questions so far? Any problems? If there's anything, I'm ready to hear. If not, we can go for the presentation on chapter 4.
No, it's nothing.
Okay.
I read it.
Yes.
Excuse me, miss.
Yes.
Today at 4 p.m. I have an appointment with the dentist. May I?
Yeah, it's fine. Yes, you may go ahead. But make
Only
sure
this
to read
one.
the Yeah, but make sure to read chapter 4 and have a look at the PowerPoint slides I sent for you in the group, okay?
Okay, okay, miss. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Take care.
You're welcome. Goodbye.
Bye. Okay, then let me share my slides for you guys. open with. All right. Okay. So yeah, basic statistics in testing. Um, Look, I don't want you guys to do statistics yourself, okay? Because that would be like a level higher than what we're doing right now. In this course, we're just learning about the basics of testing, okay? So what I'm providing for you guys in this chapter is mainly theoretical knowledge, okay? So I don't want you guys to do statistics yourself. Most often, researchers ask statisticians to, do the statistics for them. You don't need to do them yourself. Of course, it's a good idea to learn and do them yourself for your research papers, but it's not going to be, that easy. And you need to have experience enough in it to be able to do that. So what we're providing in this
Which
chapter
mean
is
this,
mainly,
which mean term
yeah.
paper or paper.
Yeah, no, no. I just mean when you're writing your papers, okay, you're gonna need statistics. And these items that we're gonna talk about are really important, but they're more important in the theoretical level, not the application level, because it's gonna need a lot of experience to be able to handle statistics. For example, I don't know if you're familiar with SPSS or not, but working with SPSS needs at least 10 sessions of 2 hours practice, like at least 20 hours of practice to be able to use it. So it's not an easy feat. And what we're saying in this chapter is mainly some theoretical knowledge, just to get you familiar with the ideas of statistics, so that when you receive your statistics from the statistician, you wouldn't be, too confused. You would know what you have and how to handle the results. But it's not about, doing them ourselves, so it's fine. Are we clear? Should I go on?
Yes, miss. Go on. Clear.
Okay then. All right, so basic statistics in testing. Yeah, why are statistics important? Well, in language testing, why are they important? They're important for analyzing and interpreting data accurately. Okay, so they're important to see how our results, actually what our results are showing us. Without them, we don't really know what we have, because we have a bunch of data, a pile of data, but we don't know what it's trying to show. So statistics are actually very, very important. They help make informed decisions about test results and their implications. And the core focus is on descriptive and inferential statistics. So data representation and interpretation, which we're going to discuss in the following slides. So imagine, for example, you need to determine if your students improved after a grammar course. So statistics help measure and compare their scores before and after the course. So this is like the most basic use of statistics. Okay,
Which mean if
choice of
the
actions.
student enhance,
Again,
which mean if the student enhance or development
exactly.
in
Yeah, exactly. This is the most basic use of statistics. Okay, choice of actions suggested by statistical studies. Understanding key concepts. Okay, descriptive statistics, they are used to summarize data. For example, we have the average test scores of a class. Then we have inferential statistics. They actually make predictions or inferences about a population based on a sample. So on descriptive ones, we generally just summarize what we have, but on inferential ones, we're using it to predict something bigger, something greater, a larger population, actually. We have the words statistics, we have the word parameter, okay? And what is the difference between these two? Well, statistics is talking about samples. So we have like 20 students in a class, okay? And the average score would be the statistic. But we have the item parameter, which is the average score of all students in a city. So it's like using that small sample for making predictions about a larger population. When we do that, that's a parameter. It describes a population. It's not about a small sample anymore. And the definition of the word population, well, it's the entire group that we're studying. For example, if you're studying all TEFL students, that would be your population, the people who you are doing the study on. Um, yep,
Excuse me, doctor.
yes.
What's the difference between norms and parameters?
What is the difference between?
Norms and parameters.
We're not talking about norms here. We're talking about parameters and statistics. Okay, so
I
don't
know.
don't get that involved here. Yeah, this is
Oh,
like just comparison between statistics and parameters. And your book, the Farhadi book that we're studying, just explains about that. The one I'm just telling you is, let me say which page it is so you can have a better idea where we are. It's on page 38. Um, page 38, paragraph 2. It says
evaluation of data.
line 3.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, line 3. It says each
Okay.
characteristic of the sample is called a statistic. From the statistic, the characteristic of a given sample, we can make inferences about the characteristics of a given population, which is called a parameter. So, yes, that's it. Okay, so yeah. Then we have the tabulation of data, showing the data in tables and in graphs. We have the rank order distribution and we have the frequency distribution. What is the difference between the two? In rank order, we're arranging data from highest to lowest, or the other way around, from the lowest to highest. But in frequency distribution, we don't care about order anymore. We just want to see how many of each of the data we have. For example, look at the scores we have over here. Scores 85, 90, 75, 90, 80. Okay, we have 5 scores. Now, if you put them in rank order, then we're going to have 90, 90, 85, 80, 75. This is from highest to lowest. Or we could do the other way. But when we're doing it the frequency way, and we're focused on frequency distribution, we would write, for example, 92. Okay, 85, 1, 81, 75, 1. That is the number of the items that we have. So it's how often each score has occurred, actually. Any questions so far? Are we clear?
Yes, was clear.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, good. Then we have determining percentiles. So we have the relative frequency, which is the proportion of occurrences that are relative to total. For example, look at the scores we have down here: 70, 80, 90, 100. So the relative frequency of each of the scores is 25. Why? Because we have 4 items, okay? And each of them have 25% of the whole data. So it's like 1/4. We have cumulative frequency, which is running total of frequencies up to a certain point. Cumulative frequency adds up each of them. So when you're talking about the first score, that would be 25%. When you're talking about 70 and 80, that would be 50%. When you're talking about 70, 80, 90, that would be 75%. It's 70, 80, 90, 100, then it's the 100%. Is cumulative frequency clear? You just add them
Yes.
up. Okay, good. And
Pardon,
then we have
doctor.
the,
Can you repeat?
Again?
Cumulative frequency?
Yeah, sure. Look, we're actually making totals of frequencies up to a certain point. So let me tell you when it's useful. For example, you want to say you want to record. You want your students actually to record to keep a record of their studies. Okay, and how many pages they studied, for example, during the week. Okay. They would write, I studied 2 pages on the first day, on Saturday. I studied 3 pages on Sunday, 4 pages on Wednesday, I don't know, 1 page on Thursday, blah, blah, blah. This is just, saying the numbers. But if you want to do a cumulative frequency of the number of pages that they've studied, they would say, on the first day, I studied 3 pages. On the second day, I had studied, for example, the first 3 pages, and on second day, I studied 4 more pages. So I studied 7 pages overall. Okay, so it puts everything that's been done on top of each other. That's why we call it cumulative.
Cumulative.
Okay,
Yeah.
adding it
Yes.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
And then we have the percentiles, which indicate the percentage of scores below a certain level. So percentiles are actually really important when you want to see where you stand in a crowd. So if they say, for example, you're in the 90th percentile, it means that your score, a score that is, for example, 90 or higher, is in the top 10%. Okay, that's the top 10%. So percentile shows you where you stand in a crowd, like what your score has done, how well it has, performed. Where do you
Uh,
stand?
Excuse me, doctor.
Yes.
Yes, collection. It is mean collection data in all forms to percentage.
Come again.
Collect data in all it is forms up to the percentage. It is mean, yeah,
Percentile. You're talking about percentile.
yeah, percentage,
Percentage, no, percentile.
percentile, yeah.
They're different. Careful. We have percentage and we have percentile. This is different.
Yes, yes.
Check percentile. If you want to check the meaning, check percentile. Let me see. It says each of the 100 equal groups into which a population can be divided according to the distribution of values of a particular variable. So each of the 99 intermediate values of a random variable, which divide a frequency distribution into 100 such groups. So, for example, the 10th percentile for weight, or for example, she passed the state board exam in the top percentile. It's like, it's like when you have a graph that shows the normal distribution. Let me share you this photo. Give me a second. Hold on a minute. Here, have a look at this. This is a normal distribution graph, okay? So when someone, do you see the mouse when I move it? Can you see the mouse?
Yes, doctor.
Yes?
Other top.
Okay,
Yes.
that's good. That's good. Okay then. So see, when you look at the normal distribution, actually graph, what we realize is that if you're in the 10th percentile, it means you're over here. You're in the first parts of the whole distribution, okay? In the middle, we have the 50th percentile. So it's right in the middle. And this is a normal distribution, remember. But if you're, for example, in the 90th percentile, which we have over here, see, it means you're higher, your score or whatever it is higher than 90% of the crowd. If you're in, let me ask you a question. If you're in the 60th, for example, percentile, what does it mean?
Just 60?
Yeah, if you are in the 60th percentile, what does it mean? What does this sentence mean? You are in the 60th percentile. What does it mean?
60 or 60?
No, 60th. 60 th, 60th.
Um, you mean the crowd less than 90, right?
No. Look, when I say you are in the 60th percentile, it means your score or whatever it is higher than
For the
60%
average
of the
by 10.
population. Okay, you are higher than 60% of the population. When I say you are in the 30th, for example,
Yes.
percentile, what does it mean?
Yes, get it.
Okay. Yeah. So that's that. So yeah, be careful about it. That's what it means. The percentile is actually very useful. It's a very, very useful tool. See, over here we have the 10th percentile, which means you're probably higher than 10% of the population. It's not a very good place to be usually if it's something good. If, for example, it's about scores, you should be worried if you're in the 10th percentile. But if you're in the 90th percentile regarding your score, that's a very good sign. For example, for IQ, they say that most of the people are in the 50th percentile. They're in the middle. Okay, they're right in the middle. Most of the people are there. But some people are in the, I don't know, 70th, for example, percentile. They have an IQ of 140, 130, for example. Some people are in the 90th percentile, like Einstein, who had an IQ of 200 and something. Okay, very few people are like that. I think
Yes,
it's clear. Did
higher
you?
than the other.
Yeah, exactly. Did you get the meaning of percentile?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. All right, then let's go back then. So yeah, so it indicates the percentage of scores below a certain value. That's that. These that we were talking about is about tabulation of data, okay? Showing the data on tables. We talked about rank order, frequency distribution, relative frequency, cumulative, and percentiles. Different ways of showing data. Okay? Then we have drawing a frequency distribution. We can have a bar graph. Okay, you know the bar graph? What does it look like? It's a very common format of graph. Many people actually use it. Let me show you a picture of a bar graph. It's also called a bar chart. Here, have a look. This is a bar graph or a bar chart, which shows each of the items separately, one by one. We use bars to represent, categories and frequencies of data. And we also have histograms, which is similar to bar graph, but the difference is that we use it for data that are connected, okay? See, like this. So, yeah, that's the difference. They're not separate data. So, for example, an example here, restaurant managers might build a histogram to determine how many customers come into a restaurant at different times during the day. This is, it's one data, but it's just trying to show different hours during the day. So it's connected. And they usually use a sort of line over the, bars to show how they look. The most common histogram we have is the bell shape, the one we just saw, the normal distribution bell. Okay, and we also have frequency. Okay, we also have frequency
But they are
polygon.
for
Which,
specialists, I think.
yeah, come again.
This graph for specialists.
For specialists.
Yeah.
What do you mean specialists?
Specialist in mathematics.
Oh, in mathematics. No, it's no, actually not really. You can actually learn to, use it as well. Usually researchers should be able to do this themselves. It's not something only for specialists in, statistics, but yeah. We also have the frequency polygon, which looks like this. We have, the dots, and then they're connected together with a line, which looks like this. And why is it used? It's a line graph that connects midpoints of each bar in a histogram. Remember I told you in a histogram they usually use a kind of line on top of them? This
Yes,
over here?
yes, histogram.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the line that we have on top of it is actually the frequency polygon. And how we connect it, we usually use we put a dot in the middle of each of the bars, okay? And then we connect those dots together. And that would make a frequency polygon.
It's clear,
Okay?
doctor. We made that
Very good.
in intermediate,
Yeah, exactly.
in a
Yeah,
low level.
exactly. Exactly, yes. All right, so let me go back to my PowerPoint. Okay. Then we have the descriptive statistics, which are measures of central tendency, variability, and correlation. Measures of central tendency are mean, median, and mode. They summarize data with a single value. They just want to show they want to give us a general idea of the data that we have with one number. So mean, I'm going to explain each of them in the next slide. So we have the variability, which shows data spread, how much the data have spread throughout throughout the line we have, if they're far separate from each other or if they're close together. Variability shows that. And then we have correlation, which measures the relationship between variables that we have. So for example, average score is mean and spread is range. About mode, median, and mean. Mode shows us the most frequency. Like, for example, if you have let me see. If you have 25 scores from, taking an exam from your students, and you have like 10 15s, and you have 5 12s, and the rest are other scores. So you would say that the mode among your scores would be 15, because that's the most frequent score we have. Then we have median, which is the middle score when we arrange them in order. For example, if we have 5 scores, one of them is 8, one of them is 12, one of them is 17, and another one is 19, and we have a 20, okay? So 17 would be the median. Of course, median can be useful when there are several scores, when we have many scores. It can be useful, but it doesn't really show us much. It just shows the score that we have in the middle. Maybe we have, I don't know, if the median is on 17, like I said right now, well, you might think that, okay, when the median is 17, the rest of the scores should be about 15 and 14, but they're not. We had an 8 and we had a 12, but that doesn't show it. So median is not very trustworthy for making decisions. You just know which one is the middle score using it. And then we have the mean, which is the average. The most common format of telling others about your academic achievements is the average. And you tell everyone, for example, I'm a grade A average student, which means the overall scores that you have achieved, that you have gained, when divided by their number, that would give you the mean. So example, scores 70, 80, 90, we don't have a mode because nothing has been repeated, so no mode. The median is 80, the middle one, and the mean would be 70 plus 80 plus 90 divided by 3, which equals 80. That is the mean. Okay? Clear so far?
So clear.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, that's good. All right. Then we have the measures of variability, range, variance, and standard deviation. Okay. Range shows the difference between the highest and the lowest score. So it just shows you how widespread your scores are. For example, if we have a highest score of, I don't know, 19, and we have the lowest score of 3, the range would be 19 minus 3 equals 16. So we have a 16 score range, among the scores that we have. Then we have variance, which measures spread of data, which is a much more reliable source for doing, for making decisions, actually. So in the example we have down here, we have the scores 70, 80, 90. The range would be 20, which is very close. We have the variance, which is 70 minus 80. You know how to calculate variance. I think you've had this in your mathematics course in high school, I believe. So this is just a review in English. We have the 70 minus 80, the middle one, to the power of 2. And then we add that to 80 minus 80 to the power of 2. We add it to 90 minus 80 to the power of 2. And then the whole thing is divided by 3, which equals 66.67, which is a very good variance, actually. It's not high at all. There aren't that much difference. There isn't, sorry, that much difference between the scores. Okay? And then we have correlation, the final one, which helps us understand the relationship between scores. Why is correlation important? Do you have any idea about correlation? Can you tell me some stuff about it? Let me see if you know anything about it. It's really important in research. Do you?
Sorry, miss. I have an idea, but I'm driving my car, so I can't participate in the class.
Okay, no problem. Anyone else?
يا دكتورة.
Yes?
To change linear correlation, to change between relationship.
Okay.
Yes. Number
It
one.
shows, you mean, it shows the change between relationship.
Relationship between two change.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, correlation is actually trying to say if two variables are connected to each other in some way or another. So we have, several aspects on correlation, but they're not really important. So what matters right now for you guys, at this level, is the linear relationship between two variables. So we have the positive correlation, for example, hours studied and test scores. So the more you study, the more your test scores. So they have a positive correlation. Or we have a negative correlation, absence. The more absent you are, the lower your test scores. So they have a negative correlation with each other. And then we have a zero correlation, which shows no correlation actually existing between two variables. For example, shoe size and language proficiency. Of course, there are no connections between these two variables. What is the relationship between them? No relation. So zero correlation. We can also use scatter plots, the ones with lots of dots. Those are called scatter plots, which show the relationship between two variables. Let me show you a picture of a scatter plot. Give me a second. Here. This over here is a scatter plot. here. So it's like it's trying to show if there is any relationship between Metro Health Index and income. And as we see, yes, if there is a change like this, we see that the higher the income, we have the higher health index over here. And then the lower the income, the lower the health index. And so it shows a correlation, a positive correlation between health and income. So the richer you are, you have higher, a better health overall. So yes, that is a scatter
Doctor,
plot.
does it represent by dot or what? Because it seems
Again,
a separate dot.
dots. Yeah, yeah. It's called a scatter plot. Yeah, and it's lots of dots, showing, each of the dots are actually one of the data, like a person in data. You have, I don't know, for example, you have a person with $4,000 and their health is like, I don't know, 2. You put a dot for that person. You have a person with $3,500 income and then their health is like, I don't know, like 1. You put a dot for them. So every person is a dot on a scatter plot. And overall, the data form a sort of graph, a sort of uh, a bar probably that would show how those two variables are connected, whether they are connected or not. Because this, for example, that you're seeing right now shows a positive correlation. If it was the other way around, like the tip over here was up and the other way was down, that would be a negative correlation. But if, for example, some dots were up here, some were scattered here, some were over there, if there was no specific, shape to the line, then we would say it's a 0 correlation. Okay?
Okay.
So this over here, for
Understand.
example, this is negative correlation.
Understand.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. All right, then let's switch back to my PowerPoint. Okay. So yes, and the correlation would be stronger if the dots are closely aligned together, and if they are scattered, if they are not close with each other, they're far apart, then it's a weak correlation. So the ones we just saw were strong ones because they were really close by. And I told you about negative, positive, and none, and that's it. That's the overall view of chapter 4 and the important sections. So for, let's see, I suppose we have had a heavy session for today. I have an idea. I think it would be better if you guys had a look at chapter 4, the parts that I'm going to tell you right now, okay, on your own, and send me a very short note on the stuff that you understood, okay, during the chapter. So have a look at
Send
the
it on the chat,
chapter.
miss, or on the group?
No, in my email, please. Send it to my
Okay.
email.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so look over
Telegram,
here
Doctor.
on page.
Excuse me, Doctor. On Telegram or on email?
No, email. Email, please.
Can you send it on Telegram? Your email?
If it's on, send my email on Telegram. I
Yeah.
have.
Oh,
I have. It's sru.nikubin@gmail.com.
this is for Telegram.
No, that's the email.
Pardon, can you repeat?
Yeah, sure. Look, let me
Okay,
type
send
it.
an email in a chat. Chat now.
I
On the top. On the top,
I
Doctor.
have sent it, guys. It's already in the channel, in the group. You already have it. But
Okay.
okay,
Okay.
I'm writing it here as well. Look, I'm writing it here as well.
صراحة
sru.nikubin@gmail.com. That's my email. So okay, let me also type it in the chat box.
So much thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
No problem. Hold on. Exactly. All right. Anwar, thank you for your comment. Yes, exactly right. I hadn't seen your comment. Exactly. Okay, so yes, that's that. Let me share the PDF of our book to tell you which parts to have a look at for sending me a summary. Okay, so have a look at your book. One important section in chapter 4 would be part 4.2, which explains about the two major areas, descriptive and inferential. That is the first important part. Then
On page
it talks,
38? Yeah.
come again?
On page 38.
Yes, page 38, exactly. Yes. The statistics used to summarize data are called descriptive statistics. We describe sample data. So yes, have a look at this part until here. Whoa, okay. I don't know why it went like that, but yes. The paragraph that we have over here. This is an important paragraph. Yeah. And then we have the tabulation. We have the rank order. Have a look at the definition of the rank order. Just that. The definition is important
Okay.
to, you know,
Only the
what
definition?
is, yeah, only the definition. What is a rank order? I explained about it. It's also in the PowerPoint slide. Then we have the frequency distribution.
Okay, miss.
Okay. That's it. That also only for the definition, okay? No need to have a look at the data. And then determining percentile. I explained about percentiles. I would like you to give me a sentence or two about percentiles. Just give me a sentence because we explained it completely. You don't need to read the whole text. If you had any questions about it or you needed more explanation, you can have a look at part 4.3.3.
Sir, miss, can you come back to the beginning of the chapter?
Yeah, sure.
I need to take the highlight titles.
Oh, okay. So here, the first one was over here, 4.2. This paragraph.
Okay, miss. This is, I get it. Thank you. Sorry, miss. Do you need send the PDF just now or in the next week? استاذ رائد، بس شنو بلغتنا تريده هسه لو الاسبوع القادم؟
ما بلغت هي، بس
بعد
جزء من
ما
الملاحظات
قالت
زياده من هنا للاسبوع القادم هي. بس خو ما واحد يخليها الاربعاء، يعني حاولوا بها الايام هاي
طبعا
يومين ثلاثه.
طب فهم. لا انا اقصد انه عبالي تريده هسه فتمام.
بس
لا لا
قالت ما حددت وقت، ما
لا مو
حددت.
انتوا اسالوها اساتذه، اسالوها، هي مو بنفسها دا تقول خلي نضيع الوقت. فانتم من يومكم اساتذه افهموا الشغله، هي بنفسها دا تقول.
أنا كل شي ما سمعت لحد قبل نص ساعة دخلت للبيت. إيش وقت قالت هيجي؟
هي ما تحكي عربي، ايش قصة؟
هسه ما تحكي
أكيد
عربي
تحكي عربي.
نهائيا، هي عتيبة فارسي.
ما أتوقع تحكي عربي أبد.
هسه خلوها على الانجليزي مو دا نفهم عليه.
وهو اللي حق واحد يسألها، إذا هي من الوحدة لحد الآن براسك، حتى إذا واحد يسألها ينعس.
المشكلة يعني يوم الخميس أوقات المحاضرات كلش صعبة، يعني الصبح إحنا بالدوام يعني نرجع. أنا بالنسبة لي الدوام بابا غريب، يعني قبل شوي يلا رجعت، ما دا لحق حتى يعني لازم دا أقرأ ولا المحاضرات.
يعني أنا هسه راح أتخلص بالأربعاء، بالخمسة أدخل محاضرة مال كورس لغة، مهم
الله يساعدك.
السبعة.
كله برق
والله.
بالسرير.
والله كلها لا سرير. ما
بالعكس
لا
يعني أنا
علاقة.
درت الوضع كلش زين، والأساتذة كلهم توب وحبابين، بس المشكلة إحنا يعني لين عندنا ارتباطات ثانية، وإلا يعني كل شي حلو. المحاضرات بصراحة حلوة يعني ما بيها أي خلل،
كلش
ما
كلش.
عدا ال LMS، ما عدا ال LMS.
Okay, guys. Yeah, sorry. I had actually
اوكي
gotten
يلا سريع.
disconnected. Sorry.
أوكي.
Where was the
No, it's
final
okay.
part where you had me?
The summaries of chapter 4, I think it's 4.3.
Yes, 4.3. Okay. Yes, so yes, I told you about 4.3.2, and these are not that important. You can skip to the shapes, the bar graph, the histogram, and the frequency polygon. You should know what each of them are used for, okay, and how they look. And that's it. That's all you need to know about them. Then we arrive at the important part, the very important part. We have the mode, the median, and the mean, which you should know what each of them are completely. So have a look at measures of central tendency. Have a very good look at it, okay? 4.5.1 is very important.
Can you come back?
Yes, sure. Over here.
Yes.
4.5.1, the mode, the median, and the mean are very, very important. You need to know them completely and be able to, talk about them.
Okay, miss. Get it.
Okay,
Get it.
good. So have a look at them. And that's it. And then we have measures of variability, the range, and variance and standard deviation. Of course, since variance and standard deviation are more, they're for more specialist people. So we don't want to focus on that much. I just want you to know about range.
Okay.
That's it. Because standard deviation and variance are not that easy to grasp. So range is fine. If you know about range, then it's okay. And I think that's and correlation. Correlation until, let me see, page 60. Page 64 over here on top of 4.6.2. We don't want 4.6.2, just over here. Okay, this is where we stop.
Okay, miss.
Okay, so that's it. You may leave, guys. I'm gonna end the class half an hour earlier than we're supposed to, and I'm gonna give you time to have a look at the parts I just told you. You can use my PowerPoint. I'm gonna share it right now. Give me a second to send it in a group for you guys. And while you're reading, you can have a look at my PowerPoint and read the text and make quick notes. Send them for me by an hour. I think an hour is enough, more than enough, for reading the few points. Okay?
Okay, miss. Thank you.
Okay, then. Thank you. You may leave. I'll send
Good
you the
والله.
PowerPoint right away. Thank you.
اوكي مش غادر
And
وصلنا.
don't forget to send me your summaries for next session. Oh, by the way, before you leave, who's due for presentation next week? We had 2 people for
Can I?
chapters 5.
May I, Doctor?
Yeah,
Can I?
I think we have some people assigned. For chapter 5, I think it was Mr. Raed, if I'm not mistaken.
You
Yes.
said Doctor for chapter 6.
Chapter 6 or 5?
Of all, you said 5, and then you said 6.
Oh, okay. So you're chapter 6.
Okay.
All right. I think Mr. Yeah.
Can I
Can I
present the
take
chapter 5?
chapter 5?
Okay.
I think
As you like.
it's already been taken. I'm not sure by who though.
No, I think you said that you will
No, miss,
present
no.
chapter 5.
No.
I think so.
Chapter 4. I told you that I'll present chapter 4 because chapter 4 was a heavy one, and let's do something. I think chapter 5 is not very short, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
So we can share in 2 students?
Yes. Muhammad and Russell, you can
Me?
both cover chapter 5.
Okay.
Muhammad
Okay.
Saadoun and Russell. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Get it.
that's right. Thank you.
Very good. So
Thank you.
divided
Doctor,
between you.
question.
Yes.
سليم
Yes.
يريد يقرأ النظام.
Topics that have percentages are important, even if just or an explanation.
What do you mean?
Topics that have before that have percentages are important.
Okay. Yes, of course.
Or
Look, the parts that are covered are important for your exam, if that's what you mean.
yeah. Okay.
Yes, they are. I sent you the PowerPoints because those are the, most important points of each chapter. Of course, you need to read the whole chapter, but
Yeah.
those are the more important parts.
Is it clear?
Okay, that's good. And guys, also chapter 6 is a very long one. It's 37 pages. So I think we should also share that between Mr. Raed and someone else. Is there a volunteer for chapter 6?
Me and Farah.
Okay, and Farah. If she's volunteer, that's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay then. Very good. Okay then, so for next session, we have 5 and 6 by you guys, and then we're going to talk about the book. Thank you. Take care. Don't forget to send me your summaries, everyone. I'll be waiting. Bye.
Okay,
Take care.
Yeah, have a nice day.
Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Yeah.